So if you remember, in order to prevent plagiarism, we have two responsibilities. We need to make sure we're paraphrasing or summarizing and that we're citing. So when we are citing, we need to make sure that we're doing both in-text or parenthetical citations, that those appear in the actual body of our work. So we'll paraphrase something, and then at the end of the sentence, we'll do an in-text citation. And then at the end of our research, we also need to include a complete list with lots of details about all those different sources we used. I think the best tool to use is called EasyBib. It integrates into Google. We can use it to export citations from the databases. It auto-generates our citations, and we can export our finished list of sources to Google Drive. So in order to sign up for EasyBib, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to a Google window and make sure that you're signed into Chrome. And you'll know you're signed into Chrome because you will see your initial or your profile picture up here in the corner. And let me move my screen a little bit. You'll see it up here in the corner. So once you know you're signed into Chrome, we have to go to the Chrome Web Store. So you can just search Chrome Web Store, and you can click the link. And we want to be on extensions. And I'm going to type in EasyBib. So there's the EasyBib toolbar, and I want to say add to Chrome. And I'm going to say add extension. And you're only going to have to do this step once. You shouldn't have to keep coming back to the Chrome store and adding EasyBib. So once it's added, the next thing we need to do is we need to connect our Google account to EasyBib. So you'll know you've added it and that it's done correctly. I guess maybe I'm going to keep my screen over here. You'll know you've done it correctly if you can see the little orange box in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to click the orange box, and I'm going to say login. You're going to do the same. You're going to choose the second option that says sign in with EasyBib EDU. And you are going to hopefully get it to work. Something is funky with my screen. Awesome. Okay. You definitely want to say sign up for EasyBib EDU. And it should ask you to click a button that says Google account. Not sure why mine's not doing that. But it probably will ask you for an EDU coupon code. So your EDU coupon code is going to be this. It's Durgee with one E, HS187. Okay, so it's right here. So write this down. In EasyBib, you are going to type DURGEHS187, and then you'll click save. It may ask you for your email address. So if it does, you can go ahead and put it in. Make sure you're using your school email address and your school password so it connects to your Google account. And when I say your school password, I mean the one that has the BV $ in front of it. And I'm using a student account as an example. All right, so hopefully we've done that successfully. You'll see your student account up here at the top, and we're ready to go. So when you sit down to start your research, you need to make sure that you open your project or create a new project. So I'm going to click the new project button, and I'm just going to call this practice. You don't have to choose a subject, but down here where it says default style, you need to think about this. If you are in biomed, you're going to pick APA. If you're in any other class, you're going to pick MLA 8. Then you're going to click create, and you will see your stuff right here. Okay. Every time you sit down to research, you have a couple things you have to do. You have to click the orange book to log in. And so you would just click the login button like we just did, and you shouldn't have to put any registration information in. And then you need to click this blue link that says bibliography. So every time you sit down to research, you're logging in, and then you're clicking the blue link to open your bibliography. EasyBib is not going to know where to store the citation if you don't click the bibliography. They won't know which project this citation goes with. So how do you actually cite something? Here's a tab at the top. This is just an article from the Syracuse newspaper. But if I wanted to cite this, I would click the book, and I would say Cite on EasyBib. So what it's going to do is it's going to pull up some information for me, and we should check to see if what EasyBib has done is correct. So EasyBib's a robot. It can come pretty close. It can get us in the right direction, but it's not perfect. So the source type looks good. The article title looks good, but then I look at the author and I see that they've taken her email address and they've put it as her last name, which is incorrect. And they've put her last name as her middle name. So I'm going to change this so that it's accurate. The website title looks good. The publisher looks good. The dates look good. So if everything's all set, I'm going to say create citation. So you should see that your citation is where it needs to be. And once you've cited something, you can just X out. The other thing I'm going to show you is how to cite something from a database, because that's something you'll probably do frequently. I'm going to go to the library website right now, and I'm going to open a GAL database, and I'm just going to pick, let's go with this one. And the GAL databases are my favorite to use because they do a really good job, or they make it really easy to save your citations. So I'm just going to type in civil rights to just find a random article. Here's an article. So if you're in a GAL database and you want to save the citation for this article, you're going to click the button that says Citation Tools, and you're going to choose the format. So you're going to pick MLA, or if you're in biomed, you'd say APA, and then you're going to export to EasyBib. Okay, and I'm just going to click Export. And now you can see I have my citation from the newspaper, and I have the citation from the database. One last time in the database, you're going to Tools, you're clicking Citation Tools, you're making sure you have the right citation format, and then you're saying Export to, and you're picking EasyBib. So you'll click Export, and you are good to go. Once you have your citations in EasyBib, you have a couple things you can do. I want to show you, remember we talked about how you had to have parenthetical citations or in-text citations. I'm just trying to pull that back up. Your parenthetical or your in-text citations where you're paraphrasing, and then you put in parentheses a shortened version of where the information came from. Well, in EasyBib, if you click the button that says parenthetical, it will show you what your citation should look like. So that right there is what would go in my parenthetical citation for MLA. If you're doing APA, it will look different. Just make sure you have the right citation style selected up here. And then if you click parenthetical, it should be accurate. So once you are done researching, your paper's written, you know what sources you've used, you need to get this into a finished list of sources that you can include with your research project. So to do that, you're going to click Export, and you're going to click the button that says Save to Google Docs, and it's going to think for a second. And you have to choose an account. You won't have to choose an account, but I am, because have so many on my computer. Okay, and it'll get this message that says File successfully uploaded to Google Docs. So you're going to click the button that says Go to Google Docs. Oh, and mine is being funky because of the way I'm logged in. But trust me, if you click this button that says Go to Google Docs, you will see something that looks like, let's see if I can do it this way. You will get something that looks like this. EasyBib will create a page for you that takes your citations and puts them in order and does the proper formatting. So you can print this page out and attach it to your paper, or you can copy and paste it to the end of your research project. So that's an overview of how to use EasyBib. As always, if you have problems or questions, please stop by the library.